Hey guys, nothingwire.com, and that's the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. In this part of the review, I'm gonna quickly take you to the software interface of the device. Note that I'll only give you an overview of the interface and not go too deep into the functioning or operations or of special apps or much promotioned features of the Note 2. For those, you can refer to our Galaxy Note 2 tips and tricks video, which will complete the overall software interface demo. So let's get started. This guy runs on Android 4.1.1 Jelly Bean, and that's the lock screen. As you can see, you might be familiar with this lock screen if you have the Galaxy S3. It shows the clock. It shows two clocks when you're roaming, the temperature, where you are, and some shortcut there. So dragging each of them will take you to that particular application. You can also activate to read some new stickers. Dragging it will ripple and unlock the phone. So there you go. Again, a familiar home screen, Samsung TouchWiz UI. Now at this stage of the Android and the TouchWiz UI, you will find absolutely no lag whatsoever while going inside or coming out of any app or transitioning through the UI. To top it all, this guy is probably the most powerful device on the market. It runs on a huge quad-core 1.6 GHz processor and also has 2 GB of RAM. So there's no question of lag anywhere. Does not matter if you squeeze in as many widgets as all the home screen can hold. You won't see the slightest of delay or lag. You can delete any of these or add a maximum of 7 home screens. Then long pressing on anyone will let you add apps or widgets. Pretty usual. You have the app dock here. You can always edit it to have your favorite apps in the app dock. You can also create folders. There you go. And keep your apps inside the folder if you do not have enough space here. So you can set wallpapers for home screen as well as lock screen. Note that for home screen you have a live wallpaper option, which is not there if you want to set one for the lock screen. So you have these live screen options again, similar with the Galaxy S3. And I'm going to take you to the settings now. You have seen this kind of setting first appearing in ice cream sandwich. You have NFC S-Beam as in the S3, all share cast, Wi-Fi keys again came with the S3. You have a home screen mode, two home screen mode basically. It is the first here. If you're new to this kind of smartphones, you can go ahead and select the easy mode. Then you have a blocking mode that lets you filter incoming items while you're busy, let's say in a meeting or something. Then you have sound settings. Okay, nothing much there. Display has something called as page buddy. You can see and experience was what the page buddy is in our tips and tricks video. You have the smart stay that will let the screen stay on as long as you're looking at the screen, a feature that came in S3 again. Then you have a one-handed operation if you find this device a little too big to operate with one hand. You have cloud backup and security there. Then lots of account options. Note Twitter, by the way. You have some great motion options as you've seen on the Galaxy S3 that really makes this cell phone fun to use. The USP of the Galaxy Note series, the S Pen has its own setting in Note 2, so you can have it open a pop-up note as soon as you pull out the S Pen. S Keeper will alert you whenever you're away from the S Pen. Air View, one of the most celebrated feature in the Note 2, refer to our tips and tricks video for a demo. You have lots of developer options here. Note that if you are playing a very demanding game, then or probably some applications, if they really slow your system down, you can go ahead and force GPU rendering. But then I always recommend you consult someone experienced before changing anything in the developers option. There you can see that's the model number GTN 7100, Android versions 4.1.1 Jelly Bean. Yeah, so I'm gonna go show you some of the apps here. Before that, let's check out the notification area. Again, the same scrolling quick access bar there. Now if you pull out the S Pen, you'll see that's what is called Page Buddy, an additional home screen related to S Pen whenever you pull out the S Pen. You will also see in the related apps on the notification bar. The same thing happens when you insert a 3.5mm audio jack here. A music related home screen will get created here, as well as some music related apps will appear here. Now I'm going to show you some apps. So you have the calculator that turns into scientific or landscape mode, usual. Then you have the camera. The camera on Note 2 is of very good quality, and it has some controls you usually see on an entry-level DSLR. For example, burst shot, then focus mode, macro or autofocus. Then you have a white balance settings. You can keep it at auto or daylight. An ISO that goes up till 800. A metering option, metrics, center weighted and spot. Note that if you use a Canon DSLR, metrics is equivalent to your evaluative metering. Outdoor visibility, contrast. Then you have anti-shake, which is image stabilization. You can use GPS tags. You can also take a photo using your voice. Then you have some scene modes, some presets there, some effects, there you go. Then you also have a shooting mode, which is really versatile. You have a single shot, best photo that came with the S3, best face that came with the Note 2. You can refer to our tips and tricks video for details. Face detection, panorama, HDR, body photo share, and a low light. The low light mode is really cool. You can refer to our low light photo for details. You also have a burst shot. That's the filters or the effects. There's a shortcut for the shooting mode, the flash options, and then the front camera. There you go. You can toggle between image and video recording here. lot of options remain same. Yeah, so then you have the usual Google apps like Chrome, Gmail, then you have Google Plus, Google Search, Local Maps, Latitude, Messenger Plus, Navigation, YouTube, Talk, etc. You also have the usual Samsung apps that come with this, like Chat On or their Mail app, then Games Hub, Learning Hub. You also have a Readers Hub, S Planner, S Note, S Suggest, S Voice, Samsung apps, voice recorder, etc. Now, apart from those, you have some third-party apps as well, but not much. You have Flipboard, and you have Dropbox, and I think that's about it. Oh, okay, you also have something called Paper Artist, which is pretty interesting. Here you can use a photo to apply various sketch or drawing effects to those. For example, I select this, and there you go. You can apply different effects there. All of drawing board. You can also apply brushes, just like on your drawing board. You would want to explore this app more because it's a very cool app in terms of drawing creativity that you want to create digitally. The gallery option, here you have 3 gallery organizer or 3 gallery view options. It's the usual ICS option. You also have a 3D view there, then a spiral one. There you go. And the FM radio, of course, does not play without your earphones plugged in. There you see. And the contacts is also usually only see the names and no social status integrated there. A pretty big dialer, but if you find this dialer a little too big for one-handed operation, you have and one-handed settings where you can reduce the size of the dialer. The email app is also pretty usual, and the browser, yeah. So it mostly keeps the stock browser that came with ICS, which was good enough in itself. You have a desktop view, and you can also save it for offline reading. There are no enable or disable flash player option because Jelly Bean does not support Adobe Flash Player anymore. There you go. You can toggle between various tabs. You can also create a new one from here. I'm gonna go ahead, enable mobile data, and I'm gonna show you how does it look. So when we go to nothing wired, you will see that by default it renders the mobile version of a web page if it has any. But then if you go here and tick the desktop mode, then it reloads and forces the desktop view of the web page. There you go. And it renders it pretty quickly and almost desktop grade. There you can see. It also supports pinching zoom, which is pretty seamless as well. No lag whatsoever. Now it supports playing of videos out of the browser. It'll take a little while, but then it'll play it all right. There, the browser on the Note 2 is actually one of the best browsers we've seen, because it came to a point where you notice very little difference between a mobile browser and the browser on your desktop. It's that cool. The engine is very desktop grade, renders everything beautifully and like you would view this page on a desktop or your laptop. You have a game hub, which is pretty usual in top Samsung smartphones these days. You have a learning hub, which is a relatively new concept. Here you can read or view educational content and also buy them from the store. So there you go. It is a book on amphibians, and there you can see you can also enable audio here. You also have some video content or video lectures available there. You have a readers hub, which right now restrict to only books and no magazines and newspaper anymore. The messaging is usual. It supports MMS as well. The music player is pretty much the same one that you've seen on S3. There's the music square. Supports a folder view as well. The output is better than ever, both with speakers and with earplugs. Then the S Note, of course, it's the signature app on the Galaxy Note series. We're creating a new S Note. You can see the templates. This you've also seen on the Galaxy Note 1 when it was upgraded to ICS. And the premium suite is available here out of the box. Notice that it does not support finger touch anymore, so you would need to use the S Pen. You have the premium suite where you have the figure corrections. There you go. You also have the digitizer. You can also insert videos or images or clip arts or some other things and work on them. You have something called Idea Sketch, where you have some preloaded illustrations that you can use to shape your ideas up. Refer to our tips and tricks videos for more. There are quite a few innovations that came with the Note 2 that's related to S Note. We've given them all in our tips and tricks video, so I'm not gonna go too deep on here. The S Planner by default gives you a month view. It supports air view, by the way. There you can see. What's air view, and for a complete demo again refer to our tips and tricks video. Now here one cool thing is, once you tap this icon, you can go ahead and write on your S Planner. So I can go ahead and I can write on 9th, I am busy. There you go. I can press it again and it'll come to your usual S Planner. If you want to see what you've written, then press this and you'll go, you can written on 9th, on 15th, This is testing. Yeah, that's one cool feature for quickly noting down something that's on an S planner. You have as suggest as usual, as voice, and yeah, so that's pretty much about it. I've shown you only an overview of how the interface look like. I recommend you watch this video along with our tips and tricks video for a complete demo of the great interface the Note 2 carries. Thank you.